Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I've been taking a little break from uploading videos on all of my platforms, but I hope to be back. And so today I have a video for the ladies, and this is just going to be 5 kind of meditation techniques. Well, maybe a little bit more because it's like just broad categories, and then I give you specific tools that you can use for each category, just to help you nurture your feminine energy and to help you work with it and just kind of build it up. So feminine energy for me is a little bit about thinking of the yin and yang. So yin and yang is all about the kind of duality of a lot of things in life. So the man, the female, hot and cold, dark and light, and there's just a bunch of different other kind of qualities. And so the yin is the female, right? And some of the female qualities or yin qualities are just being kind of passive, receiving, gentle, and thinking about the elements of earth and water, which are very much associated with yin. It's just about being grounded. You can use different grounding exercises, or mindfulness is a big one. And for me, mindfulness also has a lot of focus on emotion and just honoring the emotions that are felt in the moment and just kind of fully feeling them, acknowledging them, and nurturing them. And that's really hard for a lot of people to work with emotion. It's just your body's way of kind of telling you something, right? So gut feeling, intuition, emotion, all of these things are signals from your body to you about different things that you're living. All right, so anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into the meditation techniques that kind of help me nurture these kinds of qualities that I've been talking about. Okay, so first I'd like to talk to you about yoga style, which is yin yoga. So of course I've been talking to you about yin being the kind of female energy. Now, me being a yoga teacher, of course, I have to talk about yin yoga, which is just a very slow-paced kind of yoga. So you sit in a posture anywhere between 3 minutes to 8 minutes. It's just very slow. And it's very challenging in a different way. Physically, perhaps it's not the kind of yoga that makes you sweat, that makes you shake. Or maybe it does because it's quite deep. You work with deeper fascia, deeper connective tissues. You work with ligaments. You work with meridians in the body. So it's a little bit more subtle and deeper work in the body. It's not just muscle, push, go. So it's definitely a mental thing. So just being in that posture, sitting there for such a long time without any distractions, just with the feeling of the stretch or the feeling of the compression or anything else that you might be feeling is quite intense. And it's just a kind of meditative practice. It's teaching you how to slow down. It's teaching you how to take a more kind of passive role. And that's something that you can definitely take outside of the yoga room or off of your yoga mat. In yin, you're just left with all of your emotions that may come up. A lot of the times people start to feel frustrated, like it's hard to breathe or it's just too much, and you just have to learn to surrender and accept, and that's really hard. So I definitely recommend, if you're like me and you really love the fast-paced, kind of tough yoga, it's a good idea to sometimes practice yin as well. It's all about just keeping that duality in balance. So you can't do too much of one thing, then you're going to head into one extreme. You can't do too much yin either, because then you're going to head into the other extreme. So always just a balance. Of course, on my yoga channel, I have a few yin classes or just slower paced classes that I'll link down below, and they'll be popping up here on the screen soon. So you should definitely check them out just to get a feeling of what it is. So meditation technique number 2 today is going to be a sacral chakra meditation. So it's just all about kind of tuning into the energy of the sacral chakra. So before I get into the different kind of techniques that you can use or the different tools, to help you with your sacral chakra meditation. You can read a little bit about the different qualities of the sacral chakra up on the screen. So the sacral chakra is just an energy point in the body, which is situated exactly at your sacrum, and it just so perfectly sits right where your kind of womb is. And so this is, for me, kind of the female chakra, right? It's right at your womb. It's all about creativity. It's all about kind of sexual freedom, expression, and just feeling comfortable, allowing kind of pleasure to come into your life, all sorts of pleasure, just not taking guilt in these different things. So guilt is a big sign of an imbalance of the chakra. You can read more about the different ways that you can kind of notice a sacral chakra imbalance up on the screen. So different ways that you can kind of tune into it are that I sometimes use touch. So I'll often place my hands over here, or maybe just my left hand down here and maybe my right hand here. And just the touch is helping you set that kind of intention that you want to connect to your womb, that you want to connect to your sacral chakra. And sometimes I do this, for example, when I feel nervous, actually. And it just kind of calms me down. I don't know why, don't ask me why, it just kind of works. But just placing your hands over here is just setting that intention of, okay, I want to work with this chakra, I want to focus on this energy point. One way you can also just intensify this is just imagining a bright orange light kind of just shining from your womb outwards. So this is just visualization. Another way you can do this is different aromatherapy blends, like essential oil blends. I used to use crystals as well. And I was a big fan of the carnelian for the sacral chakra. A mudra, you can do a mudra, which is just a hand positioning that just kind of connects to that specific chakra. And so for this one, it's going to be left hand on top of the right and join the thumbs. And you can place it in your lap close to your womb. You can have the carnelian crystal in here, which is a great idea. And then the last thing that you could do, maybe just to start, is a good idea, is a little mantra. So each chakra has a different sound. So probably the most famous mantra is Om. So you just say it really long. So you can do the same for this chakra. This chakra sound is Vam. So you just take a deep breath in and you say Vam. Or you can say it 7 times in a little song way. And it goes like this. Vam 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 vam. Vam 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 vam. And so you can mix and match and combine these different techniques. You can use a carnelian, you can do a mudra, you can touch, you can, different days you can switch it up, and it's just to help you connect to that intention and to help you kind of get you started, maybe thinking about, okay, what do I need to practice? What female quality do I want to work with today? And so this is just a kind of a connection intention exercise. The intention is very important. And so next I want to talk to you about the power of words, which is very important. For me, there are 3 different ways that I do this. First, you can work with affirmations. So here up on the screen you have some sacral chakra affirmations, and just a few different ones that I've been working with throughout the years. I honor and trust my gut. I let my intuition guide me. I don't chase, I attract. So that's one that has become very popular throughout the years, and I think it very much connects to the idea of female energy. I am nurturing, I am caring, I am creative. So just different things that you can write down or say to yourself in the mirror, and just between each of these phrases, I like to just wait, kind of try to lock it in, really feel the power and the meaning of each word, and just, so this is kind of a manifestation exercise in a way. So you're putting this idea out there in your brain, in the universe, and slowly, day by day, you kind of start to become what you're saying, or things that you're saying and that you're starting to believe are starting to happen. So you just, little by little, become that version of yourself that you've wanted to become, or that you're striving to become. And this is just a great way of working towards that. Now, a different way that you can work with words is journaling. So, maybe once a week or every day if you have the time. It's a great meditation exercise where you just kind of write down maybe things that have happened throughout the day. But not just that, a good idea is to focus on the feelings and emotions that you've been feeling. So for example, kind of honoring your intuition, honoring your gut. So there's different ways of thinking. It's not just the brain, it's the heart and it's the gut as well. So just bringing down, kind of starting to maybe think in a different way, learning to think with your gut. So if your gut is telling you something, if you get, I don't know, butterflies, if you get a little stomachache, if you get a little something in your gut, if you get, gut feeling, that's just your body's way of telling you maybe something that you can't put into words or that your brain can't necessarily comprehend yet. So a gut feeling is just a gut feeling. It can't be explained. So a good idea is just to write down these little hunches, to write down the emotions that you've been feeling, thinking about why you're feeling them, honoring them, accepting them, and maybe go back and read them a month later, see what has happened, what has changed. And maybe a lot of the times, working with intuition, you'll see that maybe you start to become right about certain people or certain situations. And the last kind of exercise would be gratitude. So this is something that you can write down every day or say together with your affirmations in the morning. Just one thing that you're grateful for each day. And it just really kind of changes your perspective a lot. You become so much more positive, so much more kind of shining. And it just kind of puts me in a mood where I want to be kinder, where I want to share my love and share my happiness with the world. And that's just the kind of person that I strive to be. And gratitude exercises have helped me quite a lot throughout the years to get closer to that. Okay, so technique number 4 is going to be intuition exercises. So I've been talking to you about the importance of intuition. And so there are different ways that you can do this. For me, it's actually been tarot. So tarot is a great way of doing this because you have these cards in front of you. First of all, just in the process of picking, you just kind of have to trust your gut and not overthink it and just trust the process, right? Then you lay these cards in front of you. And you just kind of have to interpret the images that you see, the conventional meaning of the card, and just apply it to your situation. It's just all about allowing the cards to tell you something that you didn't know. And the more you do it, the more you get to know the cards, the more you get to kind of nurture your intuition. Another way of doing this is through art. So if you're an arty person, a great idea is to just take time to create something. So creation is also a divine feminine quality. Yeah, so it's just a great way to work with that. And lastly, for kind of intuition, for me, I've been practicing dream interpretation quite a lot. So I used to keep a little dream journal and just write down my dreams every day. And there are different resources that you can use. I think there's like dream dictionaries or things like that, that kind of you take a symbol that maybe appears a lot in your dreams and you search for the meaning of that. And you can kind of really learn a lot about yourself, about your subconscious mind, and this helps you a lot with your intuition to see how you think really and get to know yourself better. Okay, so last one, number 5, is not really a meditation technique, but it's just something that you can think about every day. It's just taking all of these things that you've been practicing, all of these different qualities that you've been building up, and putting them out into the world. So just every day, when you're out and about, just thinking about how I can put out these qualities or how can I manifest them in my day-to-day life. So for example, for me, just a little silly thing that just makes me feel so much more feminine is taking care of my posture. If you keep an open chest, you keep an open heart, you kind of start to shine, you act in a different way the better you carry yourself. If you shy away, it's just, you don't get that chance to kind of like display all of these things that you've been working with, display the light that you've been nurturing and building up through these meditation techniques. Or just, for example, in relationships, just to work with being kind, being passive, being nurturing instead of overly doing so much and just being active all the time. Just like taking time to slow down, taking care of myself, and through that, through the love that you give yourself, through the attention, through the care that you give yourself, you can then give that to someone else because it just multiplies. So sometimes people talk about if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. Kind of thinking about perhaps things that I was doing in relationships that I didn't like or want to identify with, and just working little by little, day by day, with just kind of changing those things. And throughout time, you just become closer to the kind of person that you want to be. Kind of just taking care of these little things, thinking about who you want to become, and just acting like that person, then you just automatically become it. Okay, ladies, so this was the end of the video. These were just the 5 kind of different meditation techniques that I've been using, and I guess each of them has different tools, different kind of subcategories, and I hope it was pretty clear. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I always keep an eye out on the comments. And these were just little tools that I've been using. I hope that they'll help you just as much as they did to me. So yeah, let me know how it goes for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.